Welcome to Bold Talks, where creativity, leadership, ideas, innovation come together. My name is Epi Ludvik, and today I have a privilege to have a short one-on-one conversation with Paul Pacun, the visionary CEO and founder of Miotic. Paul, great seeing you. Welcome to our Bold Talks. How are you?
I'm great, and thank you for having me on board today, Epi.
Great. Well, Paul, looking forward to this conversation. Paul, take us back to 2010 when the iPad had just been launched. What did you see in that moment that others didn't? And what was the spark that made you believe it could redefine enterprise sales?
So my spark happened the day before. So it was the day before the iPad launched. I was meeting a friend in New York who I hadn't seen for 30 years, and he teaches PhDs how to be more creative. And he said, tomorrow, a new product is coming on the market that will help companies collaborate. I go, okay, interesting. I get onto my JetBlue flight flying from California and New York, and Jobs is on the cover holding an iPad. And he talked about the 6,000 apps on the iPad. And I go, great. I wake up at 6:30 in the morning because I'm on New York time and I'm in California. And my daughter heard me up. Dad, what are you doing? I go, I'm going to the Apple store to buy an iPad. Well, that's silly. It's just a big iTouch, but can I come with you? So I'm like, one of those inclusive dads. I'm like, sure. So we get to the Apple store. These were the days of the 3-hour lines around the Apple stores. And while we're waiting in line, Apple people came out to the line and said, if you want, we'll hold your place for 5 minutes so you can go in and see it. And I thought that was really interesting. Who is supposed to see a computer before buying it? So we went in, I touched the thing. I think this is really cool. My daughter instantly falls in love with the iPad and says, hey, can I return my laptop and just use this? So I go, that's cool. We get back online. We buy two, one from one of my developers' houses and one for ours. I get home. I hand it to my 7-year-old son. And once again, he'd never seen it before. It was a touch device. No one really had. And he's playing Plants versus intuitively. And I go, that's incredible. And then we got in our car and we drove to the California Science Center. And for an hour and a half, I don't hear from the back of the car, are we there yet? So I figure any parent will pay $500 to not hear, are we there yet? And then I went to bed. And when I woke up in the morning, my daughter had put the ABC Player app onto the tablet. And I go, that's it. I want to be able to take corporate content, because I always come from a corporate background, and I want to put it onto the iPad, especially videos. And this is 2010, because I believe that videos were the future for sales. We were just really, really early in the curve on that one. So then in December of 2010, we launched Vablet into the App Store. Our vision was very simple. We were going to sell it to doctors. So when you walked into a doctor's office, they would hand you a tablet and you'd watch a video on whatever medical procedure you were going to learn about or have done to you. We thought this was really cool and innovative. And then we learned very quickly in January of 2011, so within a month, it was easier to sell to companies that had a lot of doctors than sell one doctor's office at a time. So we did our first kind of pivot, but that vision of walking into a room and watching tablets, videos on a tablet, one of our clients embraced, and they had 1,600 iPads chairside. So before you would learn what an abutment or an implant or a bridge is, they would hand you the tablet, they would hit English or Spanish, and you watched a video. So one of our clients executed our vision, but most of our clients use it as a sales aid. One thing that I identified early on, and Jobs talked about this in the early day of the iPad, he talked about how much storage this device had. And that was my goal. I wanted my content to be stored on that tablet. If I were in a doctor's office and we're watching the same 16 videos over and over again, it made no sense to me to be streaming that content. It's repetitive. It's a waste of power. Store it locally. And because we built Vablet to store content locally and securely, it really helped us with like life science sales reps who, when they're visiting with a physician, they get, 5 or 10 minutes twice a year with that person. Everything has to be perfect. And for me, the content had to be locally. So we pivoted in early 2011 to selling to people in the medical device space. And 15 years later, we're still in the medical device space. We still love the market. We love helping our clients. And that's where we are. And we have a lot of real cool innovations that are coming to help,
Nice.
save lives.
Now, Paul, working with these big enterprises, what was that first big client win that made you feel, yes, this is working? I do remember many of these when I started my companies, and you really know you nailed it when you got that big customer. What was it?
So the implementation was very difficult, but we won a Swiss bank. And to be vetted by a Swiss bank, your security has to be very, very good. So the fact that we are able to be used by them for their board of directors doesn't get any stricter than that. I really felt that vablet does what it was supposed to do. It's for secure mobile content was our original tagline. It is not a sexy tagline, but we really do live by mobile devices aren't that secure, and we work really hard to keep them secure. So yeah, we've had vindicated. That was one. And then around the time that client was coming up, a global medical device company was coming up, and they picked us to be launched in Europe before they launched us in the US because that's where they had more bandwidth issues than in the US. So it was really fun watching how we were being adopted by these multinationals, but not domestically at first. But then we were picking up smaller medical device companies. Southern California is where the company is from because of UCI, has a lot of med tech. Just San Diego because of Scripps. So we were picking up a lot of small medical device companies in our own backyard, which made it really happy that we could make the little companies happy and we can make the really big companies happy as well.
Now, sales enablement sounds like a tech solution, but at its core, it's about human performance. How do you personally balance technology with empathy and motivation when designing for real people who sell?
Well, our priorities have always been on the salesperson first, more than on the administrators. So everything we've done is to make it easy for a salesperson. Okay, their companies pay our bills, but we will add functionality at the request of salespeople because they're the ones that are in the front lines. What can we do to make their life easier is typically where we start our thought process and our roadmap is. And for sales enablement, the same metric that we all quote is salespeople spend 30% of their time looking for sales collateral. That's just wrong. Everything should be information at your fingertips. It should be right there. So our search we call the algorithm Hydra for multi-headed beast, but it is really, really easy to find whatever you're looking for with our platform on or offline, because that's where they're stuck. And then what we also learned helping salespeople, what do you have to do with salespeople? Three things. You have to train them. So we are a full-born LMS. They have to have a presentation tool. So we are a presentation tool. And then lastly, a salesperson should take an order. So we're also a forms tool. So we try to be like the Swiss Army knife for salespeople, and everything they need is just there on the tablet. And yes, there's a balancing act between what salespeople like and what IT likes. An example of this is may put that your device automatically locks after 2 minutes of being idle. If I'm in a sales presentation and I'm looking at my prospect and we're just chatting, it's very easy that I'm not looking at my iPad and it goes to sleep. So if you're presenting and you're in the middle of a presentation, we will hold the iPad open and we'll fight the auto close. So when a salesperson's presenting for 20 minutes, we're going to make sure that vablet doesn't close to make it easy. And if vablet should close, like they look away, when you come back into vablet, their corporations want them to start at the beginning of the tree and the splash page. If they're presenting and they're in a document, it will come right back to where they were when they were presenting so they can continue in a very fluid and natural manner. So we put our customers first. And in this case, our customers are the sales reps.
Yeah. Now, it's 2025, 15 years have passed. Leading a company in a rapidly changing space takes resilience. What are some leadership lessons you learned the hard way, perhaps from a decision that didn't go as planned?
Okay, a lot of decisions don't go as planned. I think a good leader, it's all about, okay, we're all going to fall down. And I think resilience is getting up. And when I have presentation decks for students that I mentor, it's about that hurdler that hit the hurdle, but she got up and finished the race anyway. So I think my tips would be, we pivoted 1 month out of the gate, still secure mobile content, still on tablets. We just kind of changed who's using it. So you got to be nimble. I learned from Ed Catmull. He was the founder of Pixar. Leave your egos at the door. So if my customers have ideas for how to improve our product, we write them all down. And then we'll actually have monthly reviews with other clients and saying, we're hearing suggestions from the field. What do you think about these? So by not having an ego, thinking we're the smartest guys in the room, it works for us. We just ask our customers, what could make your life easier? And they tell us. And then we have to figure out the geek side of how do we make that all happen. And yeah, the world's evolved a lot in 15 years. Tablets were one size. And now pretty much you have infinite screen sizes, the operating systems that we have to support, iOS 15 through 26, Android 11, 12, 13, and 14, Windows 10 and 11. Things are really complicated, but everything we do is focused on what does the salesperson need to do their job.
Yeah. Now, as a founder, most of founders have this guiding principle. What's a belief or philosophy that has stayed with you since day one, even when things got tough?
We have to save the planet. That is number one in what I believe in. Vablet was paid for by its largest clients out of its paper budget. Companies are saying, well, instead of printing these files that doctors are going to hand out, we're going to go digital. So a lot of companies still have not gotten all digital. So we are trying to do everything in an all digital fashion, to try to get companies off of carbon and just save paper and save trees and save the planet. We all need to do this together.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of ways that people still do when it comes to the not just paper, but a lot of things. And it's great to see that you are truly have that focus. Now, Paul, when building a platform that is uniting marketing and sales requires a deep understanding of both worlds. How have you bridged that culture divide inside organization and inside your own team?
Well, okay. The old Google expression, without metrics, you cannot manage.
Yeah.
Okay. I own it. I believe in it. I breathe it every day. So marketing people, once again, we had two taglines going in, secure mobile content and know which content results in a sale. So the marketing people really do like the analytics of Vablet a lot. We can tell them what content you should have, what content you do have, what are you doing with the content? And then when you share that content with your prospect or customers, what are they doing with it? So we really give marketing people this full view into how their content is performing. Are they creating 3-minute videos, but only 1 minute's being looked at? Are you creating a 99-page PDF and people only looking at 5 specific pages? Those analytics are really helping marketing figuring out what kind of collateral. And when we interview our clients and we survey them, we do often. What do you like about Vablet? It makes our salespeople happy. So if sales are happy and then marketing's got the data that it needs, I feel really pleased. Only one of our customer, though, has embraced our complete tagline is know which collateral results in the sale because they tied Vablet into their SAP. So now I can really see that, this doctor saw this and this and this and this and this. This is how the revenue is. We don't get to see how that works out. That's their data. We just are enabling it to be very easy to get data from Vablet into Salesforce or SAP, but really with our APIs, it's your data. You can move it into whatever platform you want.
Yeah. Paul, this is a short format conversation. I always love to get everyone's perspective in the word bold. What does that mean to you personally?
My grandmother taught me, be bold, be brief, and be seated. She gave a lot of speeches in her life. So come out there, make sure people can hear you, enunciate to be really clear in what you're going out there. So bold to me it's a 4-letter word. Typically it's in a bold font. It's out there. So just be very focused and project. Don't be a mouse. Be a leader.
Love it. Paul, great seeing you. Keep up with great work. Looking forward to reconnect again until that time. Take care, be great, and be bold always. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.